board and support us with this theoretical framework. And we are interpreting our findings within this framework, and she supports us in this. But they are not themselves doing a change process. It's really Fraunhofer and TNO.
Uh-huh. And what about the Institute for Advanced Studies of Vienna?
They do the monitoring, so that speaks to your reflection dimension. They monitor everything we are doing and also try to track the impact we are having, which is not so easy. But
no, I understand.
they are always interviewing participants of the workshops and stuff, and interview us and try to reflect with us with every step, what have we achieved.
Okay, I get the point. Also, we have also a similar partner in our project is the Aarhus University, and they do monitoring activities and more or less the same. Probably they do different things, but their function is exactly the same. So let's begin. So from the last part of the interview, because since you were talking of involving internal and external stakeholders, let's go to the issue of contextualization of RR&I within your organizations. I understand that you first we think to contextualization in three ways, but I don't want to talk too much. The question are in involving your the stakeholders, as you are explaining. Did you adopted a particular model of to do this or not? It's just more not so much. It's something like a yes or no question. There are some type of activities of involving stakeholders in deliberating activities, etc., that are very common in participatory research, etc. So my question is, if you decided to practice a specific model of stakeholder involvement or not, or you...
Yeah, that's why we are coordinating the whole project is we are focusing on foresight, and foresight is a structured stakeholder dialogue on the future. So it's all about setting up this kind of multi-stakeholder processes, and so we selected for this a visioning process for the first step for the goal setting, and the road mapping process for the second step, for the long-term transformation. This is the model of the dialogue. And then for the stakeholder identification, we often work with the critical systems theory, where you systematically imagine that the goals of the organizations would be fulfilled or not fulfilled, and who would be the affected people, who would be affected. And then systematically we select the stakeholders. That's normally our approach, but we have to say in this case we couldn't do the full-scale stakeholder involvement. As I said, we are 24,000 people. That would be impossible. So we really had to focus more on the really, let's say, dominant stakeholders. But still, we try to really carry it out for each organization who should be part of this in theory, the full group. But then in the real invitations, we had to focus on a few. But that's the basic. I don't know, but that's what your question.
therefore, what is interesting is that you adopted for this project your current way of implementing research on future and visioning, etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
we
good.
do this a lot for other organizations normally. So we do visioning, scenario building, road mapping, and now we are doing it for our own organization.
Okay. And did you involve in this contextualization? Because I know that there is a Fraunhofer institute or a group of researchers that is focused on RR&I.
Yeah, SERI, yeah. That's funny that, they were founded at the same time when we started the project, and somehow we approached them, but they couldn't make it. But now we involved them in several of the activities. For example, in the gender, in the gender transition plan, we are looking at gender in content, and this is something where the SERI researchers have a lot of prior activities, so we have engaged them, and also for the societal engagement, because they develop specific methods for participatory innovation. So we will take them on board there. But they're not really like one of the main institutes, not the dimension leader.
That's the reason why you didn't know at the beginning of their work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they were not existing. I think when we started Jerry, they were not yet existing. They were only just created, and it was not clear where they end up, and this is why they couldn't join the call. It was only formal reasons, no conscious decision to exclude them. In the contrary, we wanted to have them on board, but somehow it didn't work out. But now we invite them wherever possible, and they're very open to that also.
Okay, because I also read something about they have been working on the concept of governance very much, and they are very very well known in the community, research community that is working on RR&I. So, okay, that's good. And the other aspect, so...
but you mean SERI, right?
Sorry?
Because you mean SERI, the unit SERI. Because if you're talking of governance, this is usually my colleague Ralf Lindner.
Ah, yes, exactly.
Yeah, this is our institute, yeah.
Ah, okay,
of course, that's us.
Okay.
Yeah, Ralf is definitely in the project, yeah.
Okay, very
Sorry,
good.
I thought you were talking about SERI. That's a new group that is even called Responsible Research and Innovation, but they're more on the practical level. They're more really like doing citizens' involvement in a big lab and...
Okay.
Good that we clarified this. No. The governance stuff, we definitely have this. They are, for example, doing the international involvement.
Okay. And let me open a bracket. Is Johann Jakob Hausermann someone working with you or not?
No.
And Florian Schutz?
No, not that I know of. Are they in Fraunhofer?
Yeah, because a colleague of mine is going to participate in a conference in Boston at the end of April, and I saw that there are people of the Center for RR&I of Fraunhofer. So
That's them. Yeah, that's the ones I was talking about
a
minute ago. The new ones, and this is Jakob. Yeah, I know them. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Jakob.
The name didn't ring a bell, but I think we had several phone calls. Yeah.
And do they Jakob and Florian are in your same city or not? In another place of Germany?
No, they are in Berlin.
Okay, so.
Yeah, in Karlsruhe.
So you are not so much close to. Okay.
No.